Thank you. I tell you what, they're getting so good at this applause thing, Jonathan. I kind of keep thinking that a bunch of flowers is going to be thrown our direction.
Would you like that to be? I could
be
arrange
very
that for you.
thespian-like,
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah,
if they did that, I would recite some Shakespeare.
What should happen is you should get up and then reveal that you're wearing a tutu.
Yes. Don't tell everybody yet. I was going to save that for later.
We need Tel to come back. Really. We need Tel to come back with his
knickers. Yeah, I know. You know those knickers? I don't know if you were watching a few weeks ago, but those knickers that were thrown onto the table, Tel had been wearing them before we checked. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we should
put them on my head.
We did tell you not to. Yeah, you should always check when they come from Tel.
Yes, I didn't think.
Anyway, we are back, and I am Stamford Chidge after all that nonsense. And this is, in fact, the Chelsea Football FanCast, and we're now going to talk about the Man City game because it was great. Now, the first thing is we've got these are brilliant, actually, Pablo. Ross did these live, man. You know, when we were covering the match, he nailed them out. It was brilliant. And he was quite miserable about them even then. Everybody complained. Everybody said, why isn't he giving everybody much higher marks? And I have to say I agree. But anyway, Ross's ratings for the Man City game are as follows. Here we go. Petr Cech got 7. Should have been at least an 8. Ivanovic got 8. I'll agree with that. Cahill got 7. Should have been an 8. Terry got 7, should have been an 8. Azpilicueta got an 8, which was okay. Louise, I thought Louise played really well, but I think 7's fair enough. I think I might have given Matic a 9, actually.
I think Matic and Hazard ought to have both been on 9s.
Well, I think Willian deserved possibly a 9 too, but I'm happy with the 8. I think the 8's okay. Matic, I thought, was just a beast. I mean, the way he absolutely monstered Toure, I mean, that was immense. I've never seen anybody do that to Toure.
No, I mean, we were walking away from the stadium and kind of talking about Hazard clearly being man of the match, and by the time we made it back into central Manchester, we were saying that it was probably Matic, but those two were the two standouts for me ahead of Willian. So
interesting enough. Ramirez only got a 6, but I actually thought Ramirez played his part really well. I mean, he played a very tactical game, I thought. I think the thing that lets Ramirez down for me always is the fact that he is a rubber man, and any time he gets a chance to shoot, he usually misses.
That's right. He can't do it.
But you can argue he made the goal.
Yeah. But also he tends to give the ball away too much. That's my criticism of him.
He does do that.
He does do that. He's the most technically incompetent Brazilian football player ever, possibly.
But he is,
I do love him. I love Ramirez.
He does run around.
He never stops running.
He does.
And he fulfills a role.
That's why they called him the Blue Kenyan, isn't it? Now, anyway, I think the main thing we need to talk about with this, rather than berate Ross, who does a fine job with the ratings, is actually to announce to the world what we already knew, but we're going to announce it again. We did not park the bus. Shall I say that again? We did not, yes. All new writers for The Sun, we did not park the bus.
Castronakis is one of the best because he's the biggest fraud of a journalist.
Yes, a change of spots, but they might play one striker. Mate. That's actually how he speaks.
Football 365 do a good kind of taking him apart regularly. It's brilliant.
I'm sorry they should, because the guy is an absolute plum of the first degree. Now, I want to point out this guy here, David Coverdale, who used to, of course, be the lead singer for Whitesnake, and actually probably knows about as much about football, because he said he will have to, if he wants to stop their strikers, 0-0 would be a great result. I mean, to be fair, I thought it was going to be 0-0. But, I mean, what a bunch of Bergs. And here is this Vicky Orvis. I mean, you know, Vicky Orvis. Even if he did, Chelsea still have no chance of actually winning this one.
It's pronounced orifice.
Orifice. I think it's probably much more. I think you banged her to rights, Jonathan, if you excuse the expression. I mean, basically,
not Andy Gray. Don't do.
Get him out, love. Get him out, love. It's football. Hey. I mean, look, the bottom line here, the Sun's finest, all making absolute plums of them. Particularly that odious Burke from Geordieland, Sean Custard, more like. Absolutely, he did it at United and Arsenal, so why will this be? These people get paid a lot of money to write about football. It's criminal. It's criminal. That's all I'm saying.
And journos are in two camps when it comes to Mourinho, aren't there? There's the ones that go over the top and lap up everything that he says, and there's the ones that want to disparage him at every opportunity.
I'm
There's
so
no kind
glad.
of middle ground with him, really.
Serious point, though. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, Jose. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I mean, before the show, we started the show with the build-up, and the boys that were here will remember I was actually, you know, I was having a real rant about the fact that he'd left Oscar out and, you know, Luis and Ramirez and
he picked the right team without doubt.
What do I know?
The only thing that really properly surprised me was that Matic didn't start against West Ham more than anything else. That was the thing that got me. That
he got it spot on, though, didn't he?
Possibly.
Are you using your own show, the one that you run, to recycle your old jokes? Grocer Jack UK says you did the crocodile joke on the pudding shed.
But as Tony will remember, that was probably about the time when it all started to sound like the Smash advert, and I would have hate to have deprived the listeners of a decent gag, you know. And in fact, there are people out there, in fact, probably some of them have yet to be discovered in the Amazon rainforest, who have written in conspiracy theories saying that the minute that Chidge goes on as a guest in the pudding shed, it sounds
sabotage.
You know, and I can promise you, they weren't broadcasting on Mixler. You know, so I don't know what we're on with.
Anyway, to be fair, Morecambe and Wise did the same act for 36 years around the
Bob Monkhouse told the same joke, you know, exactly.
So.
You know. Well, I thought you were going to say, I knew Bob Monkhouse. You are no Bob Monkhouse.
No, I would never say that. I didn't know him.
All right, I'm surprised. You know, people in your showbiz circles, I would have thought you'd had...
I met him, I shook his hand.
You know, thought you had a few martinis with Uncle Bob, you know.
You were name-dropping last week when we went off air.
You were.
About houses nearby. Oh, yeah, I've been there for parties with Griff Rhys Jones or whoever it was.
I think he lives around the corner.
Yeah, Jonathan Kidd.
Everyone knows Griff Rhys Jones.
He's so showbiz.
I was in Griff and Jones for 3 series. I can't help it, sorry.
Right, okay. Can I talk about the football again? Because this is the Man City. This is the best performance. This is the best performance that Chelsea have mustered up this season.
Yeah.
I defy anybody to disagree. I thought what he did in midfield absolutely nailed it, because of course Ramirez is going up the right flank that kept him back there. Matic was a beast, but I thought the high pressing was immense. The energy that these guys expended. I mean, City didn't know what had hit them.
It helped significantly that Di McAllister was playing midfield, and Di McAllister was barely a Premier League footballer, let alone someone starting in the centre of a game as important as that.
It was precision-like, the whole thing, like a machine.
It was a machine.
What I loved about it was it was inspirational, because we all came away from it thinking, oh my goodness, we forgot what a wonderful manager he was.
Exactly. But apart from all that, I mean, it could have been 4 or 5-0. I mean, we hit the woodwork 3 times. Ramirez missed a City.
Yeah, the miss in the first half was inexcusable at the time. I thought. I mean, that
Neto hit the woodwork.
I mean, the match should have been wrapped up then and there.
I can actually give you a direct quote from the show, which is quite bizarre, only because Paul Crowder quoted it afterwards. But Ross sat there to me and he says, how did Eto miss that? And I just turned around and said, because he's rubbish, which actually made people laugh. But I mean, that Matic shot was. I mean, I was going to put that in for
games on one on those kind of things. I mean, that wasn't one of those you'd kind of expect to score, but that would have been totally sensational.
Cahill's header was good as well.
I mean, we should. Do you know what? It really pains me to say it, because you shouldn't sound churlish after you put a display out like that on 1-1-0. But I'd have loved it if we'd have batted them 4 or 5. I mean, people are talking about what Liverpool have just done to Arsenal and thinking it's the best. It's the best footballing display ever seen.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, one of the main reasons we've done so well this season and not got ahead of ourselves is because we're not getting the credit we deserve, and that's how Mourinho likes it.
But I think that would have really laid down an absolute.
But it has done anyway.
It's a fair point.
They're terrified now. City are. They're panicking.
They are, aren't they?
Jose actually did the other, because all Jose does, as everyone knows from his first spell, is take deflection for the team and keeps it himself the whole time. So I think him praising Hazard, saying, mate, isn't one an award yet, is the first time Mourinho's really actually talked him on up since he's been here.
Even then, the way he said it was saying, no one credits Chelsea, no one kind of pays attention to us. So
there must be some very good players in the division, didn't we?
We should really, I think, heap down some praise upon Mr. Branner, or Baldislav Ivanovic, as we stupidly called him the other week. And there we go, because it was an absolute...
Look at that face.
His celebration was a reference to him going ball, wasn't it?
Well, I thought so too. It wasn't a wash and go, but I mean, it meant...
Well, he went away like that, didn't he?
He obviously had seen the show we'd done the week before.
Definitely,
Baldislav Ivanovic, but I am now officially very, very afraid. But I think it was such a good moment, and I know a lot of people loved the show we did of the coverage, and I have to say we really enjoyed it too. And I didn't think it was going to work, but we got a lot of love for it. So thank you out there, everybody who joined in with us and watched it and have listened to it. I'm going to try and do it again. We might actually do like an additional show for a Champions League away or something like that. We're working on it, but it went down very well. We're very happy. I would like to share with those who didn't see it, I would like to share with you the moment that Branislav Ivanovic scored the goal that beat Man City. Have a look at this.
Come on, Blues. Come on, Blues. Come on, Blues.
Oh, well, don't point in your hat. I'm going to go mad. If I see it one more time, I'm going to...
But that was Matic that time.
I don't care who it is. If I see it one more time, I'm going to thump somebody.
But they try and deliberately kick the ball into the players.
No, they don't. Don't give me that.
Well played, Hazard. Well played. Well played.
Not from a shot.
Just try and score a goal or put a cross in.
From a corner, maybe.
Go on out, Eden. Go on.
What a player he is.
Don't know.
Rubber man.
Come on, Branner.
Good ball.
Try.
Good ball. Get the
Come
ball
on.
in the box.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, no. Who was it again? Yes. Yes.
Brilliant. Oh, Brenner!
Come on. Can you, Blues? Come on.
That was unbelievable. Look at this. Great ball. I mean, this is just, rubber man. He should have done better, let's face it. But here we go.
It's going to be Branner with his left foot.
Ramirez fails again. Branner, what a goal!
Take a bow, son. Take a bow.
Take a boo.
Good one, too.
Look at this. Branner, wallop. Oh,
Sorry.
superb goal.
Oh, blimey.
Other than the trippiness of it kind of switching
right
from...
there, isn't it?
I was exhausted after that. You see that? I was like,
Never again can you accuse me of moaning on this show.
I tell
Your
you.
entire thing before the goal.
I know. Well, what you didn't see there, which is even worse, and actually just after that comes out, he says, basically the 5 minutes before that, I was just sitting there really grumpy. It's got 0-0 written all over it. And then the minute we score, he says, so you were saying, Chidge? He absolutely got me totally. It was very fun.
Quite right. We were quite lucky with where we were sitting or standing. Seb was directly behind us, another friend of the podcast. We had Charlie Skillen not far away from us. So there's quite a big group of us around there. Seb disappeared for several minutes after the goal, in the midst of the celebration, and he sort of eventually came back to his place behind us a couple of minutes later. But it was quite good fun.
Brilliant, wasn't it? Now I just want to something that's kind of gone under the radar a bit. And actually, we had a bit of a tiff about it because we were thinking about man of the match and Guinness moments and all that right after the game, weren't we? Yep. And I put in. He didn't make it, funny enough, this week because of the Newcastle game, but I think we should mention Petr Cech's 2 absolute world-class saves.
they were brilliant, weren't
they?
Oh.
So one from the free kick and one from...
Yeah.
They were both free. No, you're right. I think one was from Silva and one was from Jovetic.
Jovetic,
I can't remember.
Now, we had a bit of an argument saying, well, we wouldn't have won had he not done that, and he was saying, yeah, well, we wouldn't have won if Brenner hadn't scored, so he had a bit of a stalemate. But I think I remember at the time getting rather aerated and a bit aggressive, getting up, actually stood up and pointed at the camera. That's for all you Czech haters. What about Cortez, my rear end? Because I get a bit fed up with all this talk about Cortez. I'm also actually, funnily enough, getting a bit fed up about Cortez coming out in the media and
he's said nothing bad. Actually,
it's all Marsa rubbish.
I'd much rather have him saying what he is saying, because he's saying exactly what Czech did when Czech first signed for us, and I would do Lukaku mouthing off about any opportunity possibly. He's a bigger problem.
Do you know who's so happy, by the way?
Who's so happy?
Eden Hazard. He's finally 2 days later tweeted, "First hat-trick, I'm so happy. Thank you for your support."
I thought he was listening to the show or something. That would make me happy if you were listening to the show, Eden, but hey.
He's very happy.
Doesn't he put Chidge at the end of it?
Yeah. I'm so happy, Chidge.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be. Benches, how happy are you?
Yeah, extremely happy. Like Darren said earlier, what could be better than being top of the league again?
Are you happy enough, Chadder, to, together with your 2 colleagues on the benches, do a rendition of Captain Sensible's Happy Talk?
No.
No? OK.
I'll have a go.
Yeah, see, I knew you would. That's why I asked them.
OK.
So I thought, spread it around a bit. Spread the love.
He wasn't a great singer, was he, Captain? So it was a bit like...
Happy talk.
Everybody
Talk about
everybody
things
did
you
this.
like
They all did
to do. If you don't have a dream, you've got to have a dream. I can't remember.
Then you're going to have a dream come true.
That's like the backing singers. That's what those sound. The kind of slightly East Asian.
And there's
backing
it goes, if you want to be happy. And now this is the deep moment. And you never had a dream, and then you'll never have a dream come true.
Jonathan Kidd, and you can see him performing in the Rudy V's.
It's on Twitter at the moment.
I've story very near you.
Yes, we've got a couple of gigs coming up. Yeah.
I hope we haven't put anybody off. I'm sure we haven't.
Chelsea, can I just say, forget Chelsea? He says we played them all over the pitch last week. If we can do it again Saturday, we could really put their season under pressure.
Now, listen, I've got again, we kind of relate back to what we talked about Mourinho at the beginning of this piece. But it was wonderful, wasn't it? It was the master plan, and I'm amazed that nobody actually came up with that, because of course that was a great Oasis song. And I thought it would have been a real up yours to City if we'd have Jose Mourinho. Look at him. Look how smug. Look at the cat that's got the cream.
There are so many smug Mourinho faces doing.
I'm loving that. He loved it. He loved it because that's what he's all about. Now the other thing is I had to think about this, and I mean, one of the other reasons why I think we might win the title this year is because of our results against our competitors, i.e. the top four, so Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and the fact is in a very, very tight league, and it's going to be a very tight league this year. Look at that. Look at that.
Right, hear me out in my being difficult here.
Go on then. Welcome to Pablo's 30-second difficulty slot.
If you extend it to the top 8, which I think rightly we should do, City is streets ahead because we've lost to Newcastle, we've lost to Everton.
I don't think we should. I think we should keep it at that. It's the top 4, and the bottom line is that we are unbeaten against our main title rivals.
Let's be honest.
Those are the points that could make the difference.
If we're going to extend to the top 8, why not the top 20?
Well,
the top of the league.
That's kind of my point. He was only being difficult. It's his job, man. It's got to be difficult.
But we're talking about top 4. We've got a top 4 in there.
Well, because I wanted...
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying, though.
Jonathan, rescue me from these...
If we win every game for the rest of the season...
How many do you think we'll win?
I know.
13 games. How many are we going to win?
11.
But I think my point is valid. I think that in a very, very tight league, and it is, you look at the separation between us all on points, it's getting points against your rivals that really counts.
But I think that all the other teams will drop points.
I think they will too.
Yeah.
But we, at the moment, have dropped less than them, and therein lies the thing.
But we've got the momentum.
What did you think about, talking of a man who likes doing a bit of stand-up, what do you think of Billy McCulloch's team talk?
Fantastic.
Isn't that brilliant?
Reenact it.
Did you see Jose doing it?
Did you see Jose reenacting it?
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. He went just...
What I find totally bizarre is, Jose said he's got a thick Scottish accent. By every single account, it says he's from a different place. I
don't think he's a thick one.
No,
I see the Blue Revolution. He's standing up on the tables in the kitchen doing his jokes.
Is he a Cockney?
Yeah, as far as I could tell.
I thought he was Scottish.
No, and people are saying he's got a West Country accent.
It's because his name is a Scottish name, isn't it?
I know Mourinho said thick Scottish accent, but I thought he was a Cockney.
Yeah, I just didn't remember his voice being very English, but it was a great
If anybody knows exactly what accent Billy McCulloch has, please let us know. Mixler for Cheddar or Twitter to Darren.
He's definitely not Scottish.
You've met him, haven't you?
No, I've not met him, but I've seen him. I used to have him on Chelsea TV on a Friday. I used to have him, Bill Bloods, dressing up in a swimming hat and getting in a bath with fish and everything. It was...
That sounds very
He was just going there laughing about it when he was getting lowered into the bathroom.
Chad, are you in fact Billy McCulloch?
I can't possibly
I think
say
you are.
otherwise.
I think secretly you are.
I gave the team talk against Man City, that's why they won.
Well, I would... mate, Chad...
What did you say?
Yeah.
This Saturday, is it Eva's turn?
Oh, well, No, I think you want him a bit more pumped up.
As a kind of COD psychology point, they gave McCulloch the team talk because they run everything through. They all knew what they were going to do. They'd done the game plan to death, and they were all a bit nervous about it, so they sent him out there to make them laugh.
But
that put them all at ease, and that's why they went out and won.
That's my final kind of point on that. I think what you're seeing here, because particularly when you compare it to the fat buffoon that we had last year, this is a manager who is just a master at getting his instructions across. He is a fantastic communicator. And Jonathan said this. They played like a machine. Every player knew exactly what he had to do, when he had to do it, and why. And they just carried out those instructions to the letter. It was fantastic.
Beautifully honed and oiled.
Wasn't it just?
Very
casual GTX.
Can I just answer? I know we've got long. Classy Jack says, question for the guys. Beat City in the FA Cup. We could also meet in the Champions League. Is it possible we could beat them 5 times in one season?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, do it. What do you reckon, Benches?
I'd like to say yes, but it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Final word to Jonathan Kidd.
Hello.
Enough! Go to the break. That was too funny. Go on then, we've had enough. Go to the break. You can't add to that.
He needs to still be in his...
We're just going to go on strike. Either roll the ads or we'll go on strike.
We did beat Liverpool. Look.
No, don't. You won't have time. Leave it on there.
I'm doing it on the way.
Don't let him unplug his mic.